So I think everybody regressed, and that almost never happens. What usually happens is you have a couple guys who go up, a couple guys who go down, a
Right.
bunch of guys who sustain and stay in the middle.
John, I'm gonna ask you the question because I will be honest with you. I'm a little surprised that you I get your logic that you think that everybody's gonna that they're gonna get better. And let me just
Well,
play the
not everybody, but
well,
I
I know
think
that. Let me just get it out there. Let me just play the devil's advocate. You got an aging offensive line that's battered and bruised from one of the most prolific
well they're going to
running
get
games.
rest now. They're not playing into
You
February.
can't take away them tush pushes that they had. That they
I
had.
already saw. I saw Landon Dickerson loading up his
Fucking load
cart.
part. I mean, dude, whatever. Let me not get into that. You got a running back who is reaching the territory where running backs are normally no longer all that valuable in the league. It's just the way it goes. You got a receiver in AJ Brown who, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, he didn't look himself last year. So even if they did keep him, what does that look like? You have a quarterback who once prolific in terms of being a dual threat, maybe one of the best dual threats the league has seen in terms of production on the ground, touchdowns, all these things. Not seeing that much anymore. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to go there, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a section of the fan base that was doom and gloom about what you're going to see next with this offense.
Well, I've said, and this is just me. So 10, I don't count Tyler Steen because he wasn't a starter. But if you want to count Tyler Steen versus Mekhi Becton, I've said pretty consistently at the end of the season, early in the season, I thought about midway through the season, I thought two guys were a little bit better, two or three. Um, by the end of the season, I went 0 for 11, which is astonishing, which never happens. Never happens. Everybody going in a negative direction at once. And again, you can parse. Devontae Smith wasn't that much worse. I think he was a little bit worse than he was the year prior. But we're talking 51-49. So if you want to go 51-49 the other way, I have no problem with it. Still 10 of 11. If you want to go 51-49, Dallas Goedert, no problem with it. Even 9 of 11. I happen to think running is more important for the Eagles, and his descent as a blocker was more important than his ascent as a red zone player, which is why I think in the splashy and the touchdowns make people think he had a career year. I don't think he had a career year. So I think everybody regressed, and that almost never happens. What usually happens is you have a couple guys who go up, a couple guys who go down, a
Right.
bunch of guys who sustain and stay in the middle. I think a different type of regression to the mean is going to happen in a more positive fashion. Like I said, in the Super Bowl 57, a bunch of guys had career years. I said, Hassan Reddick's probably not going to have another year like that ever in his life. It's turned out to be correct.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 59, Saquon Barkley's never having another year like that. Turned out to be correct. Bunch of guys, you can't repeat career years like that. And that's natural. But to have everybody going in a negative fashion is rare. To the point where I'm going to guarantee it's not going to happen again. And in the case of some guys, it'll just be they're better equipped physically. And I'm looking at Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. They might not be what they were at their height, but they're going to be better than they were this year. That's all I'm saying. Lane Johnson, if he comes back, a lot of ifs. If he comes back, number one, if he stays healthy, he's obviously going to be better because he's Lane Johnson. Jordan Mailata, I think, played at a high level. He's just played so high the year prior. So I think that's going to be fine. And then I think you're going to draft a Caden Proctor type, and maybe they take over for Tyler Steen, or Tyler Steen's at least going to get a little bit better as a second-year starter. Saquon Barkley, again, I think two things. I think there's no way he's ever getting back to the 2024 Saquon Barkley, and I think there's no way he's as bad as the 2025 Saquon Barkley. No way. It's one of the worst starting running backs in the NFL. If you want to be honest, no way he's playing that poorly again.
How much you put on versus O-line?
I put a little bit on both, but I put more of it on Saquon. But did the offensive line make him drop passes all over the place, or bobble every other pass?
That's crazy how much he bobbles it.
I think there's no way he plays that poorly again. So a lot of this is going to take care of itself from the standpoint of players. And by the way, the players know they played shitty. I mean, they said it all year. They verbalized it all year. They know they played shitty. And if they play shitty again, they're on the clock. And they're, again, the league moves fast. And they're going to get released. And they're going to get moved on. So a lot of it's going to take care of itself from a personnel standpoint. But, again, what are you grading on? What are your expectations? If your expectations are 2024, you're probably going to be disappointed. If your expectations are they going to be better than 2025, you're probably going to be right. So everything is, I think, still to have the big names, right? So as long as Barkley's here, Hurts here, AJ's here, Devontae's here, you're going to say, well, I have all the skill position talent in the world. And there, certain guys are never going to reach that level that they were at, but they're going to be better than they were last year. The Eagles will never criticize. Their offensive players played like shit. A lot of them, not all of them. But they did.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's no way you're wrong. I just have a little less confidence that they're going to. I do get your logic. I'm not saying I don't get your logic. I just have a little less confidence that they return. We'll find out, John. How about this, John? What do you make of this? Maybe it's nothing. The Kansas City Chiefs tweeted this out this morning. I don't know if you can see that. Thank you, Matt Nagy. Forever a Super Bowl champ. Thanks for everything, Coach Nagy.
Well, I don't think. I mean, obviously they hired Eric Bieniemy. What I do think that indicates is Matt's got something in the fire.
Yeah,
so,
me too. Where has he interviewed outside of the Eagles? A couple spots, I think.
Well, we interviewed to be the head coach in Tennessee. And there were a lot of people who thought he was the favorite there before they shifted to Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Now Brian Daboll's interviewing for the Buffalo job. If he gets the Buffalo head job, maybe Matt Nagy's the offensive coordinator in Tennessee.
It's funny because I saw the Bills put out, or somebody put out that maybe it was Rappaport. Let me look. That the Bills Josh Allen. Oh, Diana Rossini tweeted this. Buffalo is making sure their best player, team leader, and face of the franchise is part of the hiring process.
What a shit show Buffalo is.
Josh Allen will have significant say on the next coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo's been exposed as an absolute shit show over the past week. Sean McDermott, every day in Buffalo with this goofball owner they have and Brandon Beane. Yeah, Sean looks better every day that goes by. Good, enjoy. I think they hit their ceiling. You never say never when you have Josh Allen, but I think they hit their ceiling. They are a terrible organization.
They could have hit their ceiling. It's very possible.
and that's a shame that they didn't get it done. But man, when you have it, and I criticize Jeffrey Lurie because I think I'm the only one that criticizes him for his impatience. But again, comparatively speaking to most owners in this league, he's like miles ahead. Miles ahead. So it's not perfect, but Eagles have a big advantage there. Big advantage. And guys like that are, but Brandon Beane, good luck is what I would say to Buffalo. But Bobby Slowick, I'm just looking at the Tennessee stuff. They're in on Bobby Slowick as well. So they might be in on Matt. Obviously, Daboll's going to get the job if he doesn't get the Buffalo job. So that's number one.
I'm still waiting for Slowick to get a second interview or to be linked to Philly. I don't know if it's going to happen. It was just my hunch. I don't know. After seeing C.J. Stroud, I think what Bobby Slowick did in Houston is a little bit more impressive.
Well, yeah. Well, the 1 year was and the 1 year wasn't.
So I think C.J. Stroud, they should move on from him quick because that defense is next level good, and he was next level bad.
So Jeremy Fowler put out, obviously we were talking about Declan Doyle, is a name to watch. The Bears did not block Philly's request, as I said, to interview Doyle. Some see him as head coach material. This job could be a springboard, blah, blah, blah. Boy, I just, you can't preach that experience was a problem with the play caller and then hire a 29-year-old who's never done it. Well, you can do whatever you want. It's just a tough sell to me.
I'm sure Jalen will be upset about that. He was bitching about, remember the interview that people keep posting in the locker room after the Super Bowl clean out day, and he's telling, I got asked about Patullo. Everybody loves playing that.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about the clean out day stuff?
Yeah, where he's like, oh, well, that would be a different role. He's never done it before,
But Jalen talks that way about everything. Has everybody not noticed?
I know. Yeah, I see it. I mean,
no, I don't. I don't put much stock in that, but obviously, he would have no history with Declan Doyle, who's older. What Jalen's a little bit younger, but I don't know. Boy, that would be an interesting hire. I think he might be the Eagles head coach in 2 years. I think that's a better thought process with Declan Doyle, but boy, I don't think that would go over well. Not that, again, I would respect the Eagles for just saying, hey, we like this guy. We think he's going to be great. I would respect that part of it, but boy, that's going to be a tough sell after all the sort of intimation about what was wrong.
Right. All right, John, conference championships this weekend, man. What do you think? Start with that NFC game.
Well, I think the Rams, I'm rooting for Seattle because I want to be right about Sam, but I think the Rams are the best team. I think they're the most well-rounded team. I've said that pretty much.
Yeah, I kind of flipped because I thought the Rams were the best team, and now I think the trend is that the Rams haven't been that good. The Rams
they haven't, but I think Sean McVay, ironically, I think Sean McVay hasn't been that good. And I think he's trying to lose games for them. And they're still winning games, which I think is a positive, which I think points to the talent. So I'm sticking with the Rams, even though, boy, he tried to lose that game.
Like they weren't good they were okay in the Panthers game. I mean, that game was much closer than
they weren't good.
Yeah, and then they weren't good in the Bears game either. They weren't good at the end of the season. They struggled after that Seattle loss, which was a nail biter in overtime, and then they struggled. They lost to the Falcons. They beat the Cardinals, but I don't think the Rams right now have been are as dominant today as they were once this year. And look, it's all about being hot at the right time in the NFL.
Well, I think it's positive when you can win despite your head coach, and I think that's what the Rams have been doing. That tells me they got better players than the other team.
It's funny, Eagle fans are going to comment that that's what the Eagles do.
Yeah, but there's no evidence of Nick making stupid decisions consistently down the stretch of games consistently. But I have no problem with people. My problem with the talent thing is, again, I never deter. I say personnel first. Players mean more. Players mean more. Players mean more. That's the case when they win. It's the case when they lose. Doesn't change.
Right.
It changes with most fans. When it's win, I don't like the head coach. He wins because of the players. When they lose, it's because of the head coach or the coordinator, or that is the shift. You will never hear a shift from me because it's talent first. It's always talent first. You can't win without talent. And the Rams, to me, have the best team. And they are winning despite
this game in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm picking the Rams.
I'm very surprised to hear that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought you were a lock to pick the Seahawks.
No, I think they're the best team, and I think they've been the best team for a while. Now, if Seattle can get Stafford sped up, obviously that's the way to win. They're capable of it. They've had a great defensive front all season. Probably have to do it with a 4-man rush. We'll see if they can do it. Wouldn't shock me if Seattle won, but I'm picking the Rams. And then the other, I think, look, Nick Foles is out there trying to buoy our boy Jarrett Stidham. It can be done. It can be done. It can be done.
I think they're going to fight. I think they're going to put up a fight. I do, because I think that it's similar to that Patriots team. I mean, they've had a great year. I don't think they look as impressive as they once did this year.
They gotta win. Denver's got to win on defense. Again, they have a great defense. Maybe they can, but I think Drake May is going to make a couple plays, and I don't think Jarrett Stidham's going to make any plays. So, just a bad spot. I mean, it's sad to be in that position, but and where the Nick Foles comparisons don't register is Nick played. He had a. He was a veteran guy who had some experience and played at a high level at some points of his career. This guy has never played, nothing. I mean, it would be a heck of a story, but that's just bad luck. And I'll even go.
That would be a rematch, right? Wasn't that recent, 2018 or?
Yeah, Rams Patriots, yeah, which is disappointing too, to have rematches, but and then the Rams this is one of the most ill-equipped, no offense to New England, I know we got a big Drake May fan, this is going to be one of the most ill-equipped Super Bowl teams of all time, and the Rams or the Seahawks, whoever wins, it's going to boat race the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Shooter McGavin, are you out there? He's not going to like that. He's not going to like that. All right, we got a couple supers to read, John, on the I got, by the way, for my picks, I have the Rams because I'm sticking with my boy Pat Callahan. I said it when he passed earlier this year. I thought the Rams were going to make a run, and here we are.
I thought you were going to pick the Seahawks.
I think they're playing better right now, but I'm going to take the Rams because I'm going to ride for my boy Pat. And then I got the Patriots. So I'm going to take the Rams and the Patriots. I think are going to be in the game. Good stuff there. Appreciate everybody today.